Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hello. How you doing? Hope everybody's doing well today. Just wanted to make sure I stop by so that I can educate you all some more. I have some more information for you all. I do not want you to get behind. I definitely don't want you to get behind on nothing. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Miss CBS. I am a driver for 16 years, and I'm trying to share with you all the experience that I went through and give you all as much free information and knowledge that I can so that you can get started. I give you what you want, what you need being a truck driver. I will get to the main test is at the end. Not now, because you have a lot of people that's still trying to learn the trucking game. And so therefore I'm trying to feed you the information. The first category I think I gave you was the how to pick your trucking company. So it's a lot of information in there that's very helpful. The second one that I gave you was orientation. What you're going to go through in orientation, what's going to happen, and all that kind of stuff, the whole day and stuff like that. And for your transportation to the trucking company that you choose. This one is going to mainly be about in-cab inspection, air brake information, and pre-trip information. Okay, so just to let you all know, that's what we're going to be doing today. And this is something that you need to kind of go ahead and just learn ahead of time. Because when I started back in the days when I was 17 and young in the park, no, I'm just kidding. When I started many moons ago, it was like 120 to 130 questions for the pre-trip inspection. And that's when you have to learn the whole truck. And this is when I was with Swift, like in 2010. So that's just one sheet, This is another sheet. And I think I'm even missing one sheet. But it was a lot that you had to know. You see all these questions that they asked you, and you had to know everything. And if you didn't get it right, guess what? They'll give you a second chance to do it the following day. I think it was like 109 to 129, something like that, right at 130. But if you didn't get it right on the second try, they were sending you home. So these were a lot of the questions that we went through back in the days. Yep. But now, thanks to, I guess, people that's not grasping the information as much, because they wore the hell out of our heads and brains and knowledge and all this stuff. So thanks to the people that just couldn't get it and said, man, I just want to be a truck driver. I can't get this mess. Now, you only have this many. And see, that's not much at all for a whole truck. That's just for the semi truck. So all you have to do is, screenshot this or write this down, take a list of this, and try to, put it in your little category and, go ahead and just, check it out and, and just test it and see if you like it and, and try to study it and, see what you could do with it, because you're going to have to do some with it if you want to pass that test. Yeah, you have to do some with it because you have to pass the test. Okay. So just make sure you do that. Also, that, like I said, just make sure that you study these ahead of time, because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. But the good part about it, like I said, you don't have just 1 or 2 days, I think now they give you about a week. You have these trucking companies, they really have patience with you now, but a lot of trucking companies back then, they didn't have patience with you. Okay. So far as the AIRBRAKE test, let's go with that. Please make sure you write this down, because the AIRBRAKE test, you have to take your time. Yeah. And do this. Take your time and do this. You see how it says, what you're going to do is I will turn the key to the on position. I will not fan the brake below 90 psi. So my air brake governor's out, kicks in when I start the truck. So basically what's going to happen when you start the truck, you're going to turn it to the on position, and you're going to just sit there until your governor shuts out. You're going to hear it go, psh, and then you're going to go through the rest of the steps. And this is a very good sheet that I found that takes you precisely through every step it is. All the rest of them out there were looking kind of like funky, but this one is really good. It's telling you exactly. See, it's telling you stop. I will now start my 60 timer. So this one is really good. The ABS light, it's telling you everything that you need to know. So make sure that you keep a good track on that. Okay. Yeah. So I'm sitting over here because my dog is passing gas and it stank. I'm trying to get through this testing, man. And he looking at me like, Mama, yeah, he knew it stank. That's why he moved. Even he like, I'm gonna leave you over here. Anyway, that's that for the air brake test. Make sure you pay attention to the air brake test and study it. That's a good air brake test. Very, very good. Now, as far as the NCAP test, I can tell you the best way to do this NCAP test. You get you a picture of the truck. Here. There was another picture I had. Dog it, I didn't put that picture in. Here go a picture. Here go a picture of my truck. You get a picture of the truck. Okay, this is a truck that I had back in the days. I purchased, and we had a company called Hustle and Go Enterprises. Of course, we had to shut it down because of COVID, because everything was just going crazy. But anyway, so this is a picture of the truck, okay? So make sure when you're doing the NCAP inspection, to make it easy for you, make sure you start on the outside. After you get in the truck and do your 3 points contact and get in using both handles to pull up and step up, and you get in, make sure you lock your doors, you put your seatbelt on and buckle it. You're going to go ahead and adjust your mirrors. You see your mirrors right on over here? Yeah, adjust your mirrors on the side of your passenger and driver's side. Adjust the mirrors, okay? So that's what you can do first when you get in and put your seatbelt on. These are, those aren't the mirrors, those are pipes. But these are mirrors over here. You can't hardly see them. But anyway. But then also, when you get ready to do your NCAP, please, whatever you do, start from the outside and work yourself in. Meaning, what you're going to let them know, and you have to point at everything. Let them know. My mirror's on the outside. You see these mirrors right here? It's one on the other side, but it's not showing. But these mirrors over here on the outside, some trucks have the mirrors on the outside, some don't. So you let them know my mirrors on the outside, they're clean. They're not broken. They're not damaged. They're affixed to the truck, and it's good, and it's working good. It's clean. It's not broke. It's not damaged, and it works. Just tell them something simple. And then after that, you go from there to your mirrors on the side. You make sure you let them know the same thing you said about these front mirrors. You're going to say it about the same. The mirrors that's on the door. It's clean and it's not broken. It's not damaged, and it's not cracked. It's clean, and it's fixed to the truck. Okay, then you're going to go from there to go to your windshield, because it's right in front of you. So go ahead and let them know that the windshield is not cracked. It's not damaged. It's not broken. It's free from any debris, meaning all kind of trees and leaves and dirt piled up on it, and it's clean, and it works. And then you're going to also let them know about your windshield wiper. When you tell them about your windshield wiper, make sure you turn them on. Make sure, like I said, whatever you're doing, point at everything. That's that, that's that, that's that, those are that. You know what I mean? Let them know about everything and point at what you're talking about. When you go to the windshields, when you get through telling them about the windshields, is clean, it's cracked, it's not damaged, it's not broke, it's free from debris, you're going to go to the windshield wipers. When you go to the windshield wipers, you make sure you turn them on so that they can see them going back and forth, back and forth. Once you do that, you let them know they're working. They're not broken, they're not cracked, they're not bent. And you show them that they're working. Then you're going to push the windshield wiper button to make sure the fluid is working and show them that the fluid is working as well. After you do that, you let them know that the fluid works properly, okay? And you're going to be pointing at it also. You're going to also go back to your seat belt and let them know that your seat belt is not damaged, it's not broke, it's not cut, there's no fringes, things like that. So, and let them know, and it's buckled and it's safe, You're going to let them know, turn your air conditioning on. You're going to show them and put your hand up there and let them know that the air conditioning works. So put your hand up there, let them know that the air conditioning works. And after you let them know that the air conditioning works, you're going to put your hand up there and turn to the heater. And you're going to put your hand back up there and show them that the heater works, okay? So just continue to do that and let them know that the heater works. The heater is working properly. The air conditioning is working properly. Things like that. Then you did your side mirrors, your windshield wipers. You're going to go to your horn. You got your city horn and you got your big horn. So then you're going to toot your city horn, which is the big horn, and you're going to toot your truck horn, okay? No, your city horn is the small horn, the one on your steering wheel. And then the big horn, you're going to toot it also to show them that it works properly. So that's what you're going to do with that one. And after that, he's going to probably be just, is it anything else you've forgotten? You just take that moment and you think and look around. And matter of fact, while you're doing it, and when you look at that in-cab inspection and that air brake stuff, you make sure you count and make sure you did them all. Count them on your hand. Let me see, did I do everything for the in-cab inspection? Did I do anything? Everything for the air brake, try to keep up with everything to make sure you mention everything. So we did mention the outside converse mirrors. We mentioned the mirrors that were on the door. And like I said, you're going to point at everything. We did mention you're going to go from the outside in. So you're going to go from the windshield wiper, from the windshield wiper, the windshield. And from the windshield, you're going to go to the windshield wipers. And with the windshield wipers, of course, you're going to do it the fluid and show them your windshield wipers. And then you're going to go down, like I said, to the air and the AC and the heater, because you're coming on in towards yourself inside the truck. And after you get through doing that and showing them that the heat is blowing up underneath, up under the bottom, showing that the air is blowing up on the top. And then you're going to, of course, make sure your mirrors, you've already did your mirrors on the passenger side, your mirrors on your driver's side. Then also just make sure that you show them your both of your horns, your city horn and your big horn, okay? Okay, so that's what you're going to do. Then, after you get through with everything, it depends on how you do it. Some people do the emergency things when they finish their air brake test. Some people do it before they do it. So you could do your air brake test, which is that paper that I showed you, that all you have to do is study it. Or either, so it's all about what you have to do is just make sure you include your fire extinguisher, your flares, your flares that you put out, if you have an accident or if you have to pull over, things like that. Let me see, what else? It was something else that you have to put out. I have to think about it. I ain't did it in a while. My truck ain't broke down. But you just have to make sure you have all your emergency equipment in place. And it's a couple more things I wanted to mention to you all. Make sure that when you talk to the people at the orientation or whatever, if you have pets, you make sure you ask them, is it okay if I bring my pet? And if they see what they say, and if they don't mention a fee, I guess you can ask if you want to, what is the fee? They might say it's free, it's pet friendly, and that's cool. Some people, some of these companies are outrageous, You know, I went with a company that had nerve enough to want to charge $750. They know who they are, because don't nobody in the world charge $750 for somebody's pet to ride in their truck. But anyway, you can ask them, are they pet friendly? You can also ask them about ride alongs, you know, because you might have your husband, your wife, your girlfriend that wants to ride with you. So you can ask them about ride alongs and how much it costs for that. It might take about, they might say like about 30 to 60 days before they can get your ride along, because some type of insurance, you know, they have to put in place for that. You have to pay for the insurance, whatever like that. Also, if you're a person that likes to exercise, you could take your exercise equipment with you. They do have exercise equipment that fit in the truck, and you can order it from Amazon. They have the like the little flat treadmills and things like that to keep you exercise. They have the little things on your bed right up under your bump, your top bump. It's some brackets, some little things on the side. You could get your little arm bands, and you could, you know, do your little exercises like that, little bands, and do things like that. So that's something that can keep you busy, of course. Like I said, I really hope you have refrigerators and microwaves in your truck. Make sure you get you a good phone holder. Make sure you please get you a good phone holder, because the truck does a lot of bumping around and bumping around, you know what I mean? So make sure you get you a very good phone holder, get you a very good GPS. And if you don't want to invest in the Garmin's and all the other ones, you know what? Trucker's Path is really good, and that's just $29 a month. I mean, I've been using it for a while, and it takes you exactly where you got to go. It never misses a beat. It ain't gonna tell you to go across the road somewhere. Just like I seen an app I was using, and that sucker told me to turn down a road. It was a dirt road. I said, I wish the hell I would turn down that road in this 53-foot truck. You know, so you got to be careful of those apps. You know what I mean? So be very careful. Get an app, a trucker's app that's trustworthy, and I do know Trucker's Path is one. Okay, so that's that. Also, something else to keep in mind that's good to have on the truck. If you're a person that likes to cook, they have these lunch boxes that you can purchase from the truck stops. And all you have to do is put your frozen meat in there with some onions and bell peppers, carrots, or whatever, potatoes, whatever you want to put in there, you know, and plug it up. And by the end of your shift, you know, or by lunchtime, your truck gonna be smelling like you in a restaurant somewhere. You're gonna have to pull over and grab something out of there. You know, make sure you have your, you know, I would say flour tortillas or corn tortillas, something like that, or your bread or whatever. Make sure you carry yourself plenty of water, like I said before, and that'll be good to have. Make sure you have your aspirins and, you know, paper towels, toilet tissues, all that stuff. I said that in the first one. Also, another thing to keep with you, because you do have a lot of trucking companies that want their truck cleaned, trailers cleaned at the end of the day. Get you a small leaf blower. That'll be good to carry with you. For those of you, you know, you get tired of using that push broom to be trying to push all that dirt and dust out of there. A lot of times they send you to those paper companies, and it's little bitty shreds of paper all over the place. Then you find that butthole that tell you it's not clean. We need you to sweep it some more. Just get you a blow dryer and blow it on out. Okay, so they have the rechargeable ones also. So that'll be good for you to use. And other than that, I think that's about it. So anytime you want to, just come back and go through the taping so that you can screenshot these things that you need. Like I said, these are the ones are the only thing that they're asking now for pre-trip inspection. This is for when you're going all the way around the whole truck. The side over here to the right, this is for bus. That's not for you. But some of y'all might do buses. But then at the side on the left, that's for semi-truck drivers. So make sure you study all of those. And that's all you need to know when you're doing your pre-trip to even test out at the DMV, okay? This is what you need to know for your air brake test. So make sure you study that. And like I said, this gives you a really good, precise description on how to stop, do this, do that. Do not start the engine. Just put it to the on position and blah, blah, blah. Because there's a lot of these air brake tests out here are very confusing. So this is a very, very good one to go at. And for as the in-cab inspection, like I said, just make sure you work yourself from the outside in, the outside of the truck, and then work yourself in to the inside of the truck, okay? Yep. So other than that, that's about it. I really thank you all for stopping by. I try to provide as much information for you as I can. Um, and I thank you so much for supporting me. I just really hope that you all like and you subscribe and be there for me so that I can continue to push out this information to you. It's been a long time coming. I'm going to get better at this. I'm going to be good at this. Good at this. Yep. So other than that, I hope you all have a lovely day. And I will be working on your next assignment. If you have any questions, drop me an email and I don't mind answering you. Okay. So other than that, you have a lovely day and bye bye. Control E.